Live streaming is a powerful tool for content creators. It is the fastest and easiest way to get your message directly to your audience. It completely cuts out editing, you can directly engage with the chat, and you can repurpose your streams into additional content. Today, I'm breaking down my live stream setup so that hopefully you can get some information and inspiration for yours. Okay, so the last time I made this video, I was rocking quite a different setup. I had my main editing desk and then a completely separate desk that I would set up anytime I wanted to live stream, which was fine, it just took time. There's this saying that goes, water flows down the path of least resistance. And I think that definitely applies to content creation. When something is harder to get set up, it's a lot easier to make excuses on why you don't want to do it. So I decided to take my live streaming desk and my main editing desk and merge them together. The new desk setup is pretty crispy. The desktop is actually a countertop from IKEA that I have custom stained. I've attached this countertop to a pair of mechanical sit stand legs. And the newest addition is that I've added wheels. Now I can roll the desk around the office and get it positioned wherever it's needed. And I can choose to stream sitting or standing, which is pretty cool. I have a power strip mounted underneath the desk, as well as a cable raceway to keep all those cables nice and clean. My main desk setup is not quite finished yet, but I will be finishing it soon and doing a full desk tour video later on. But I did want to go ahead and share the streaming side of it because I do think I have it pretty dialed. My live streaming camera is the Sony a7C. Right now, this is my favorite YouTube camera. It's full frame, 4K, has great autofocus, and a really good low light. For the lens, I am using a Sony 20mm 1.8 prime. This creates a nice wide, bright, and depthy image. I've actually made full reviews on both this camera and lens, and I've placed links to them in the description, as well as any of the other gear that I'll mention in this video. The camera is attached to the desk via a pole mount paired with a Ulanzi quick release plate. This way I can easily attach the camera when it's time to stream and detach it when I'm done. I have the camera plugged in to USB-C power and send the video to an HDMI capture card. Audio is half of video and it matters, especially for live streams. I've tried out a bunch of different mics and audio setups, but I think that I've finally landed on one that I really enjoy. I've got the Shure MV7, which is a great sounding microphone. It's a very unique mic because it has both USB and XLR capabilities. Straight away, you can plug the microphone into your computer directly via the USB, and it does sound pretty great. They even have some software that you can use to tweak it. But in general, XLR microphones typically have a fuller, richer sound than USB. So I decided to push the MV7 to the limits by pairing it with the Elgato Wave XLR. This allows me to utilize the XLR functions of the microphone, and it gives me options to add effects while streaming, like EQ, limiters, compressors, and noise gates. This way you get the nice full sound of the XLR paired with some great post-processing. Overall, it creates a really great full sound while maintaining a clean, minimal footprint. If you've been around this channel at all for any length of time, then you know just how important lighting is. So for the lighting setup, I've got a few things going on. For my key light, I'm using the Mount Dog Softbox kit. It's mounted to my desk via one of the same poles as my camera. This gives a nice soft look while being dimmable, color temperature adjustable, and remote control operated. For the background lighting, I am using two of the Godox TL120s. These are such a cool way to change up the entire look of the stream. I love using tube lights because they actually do three things at once. They are background lights, rim lights, and practicals. Really, the only other light that I'll use sometimes is my custom Stay Creative sign, which can add a cool vibe to the stream. Up until recently, I have been using a 2017 iMac as my main workhorse. It has served me well, but with new cameras coming out with higher resolutions and bit rates and all of that stuff. It just was time to upgrade the computer. So I decided to go with the Mac Studio paired with a studio display. I went with the Visa mount for the display and have it mounted to a monitor arm. This way I can transform the setup from regular editing mode into live streaming mode. I also have a smaller secondary display by Innoview. It connects to the computer via one USB-C cable. I highly recommend rocking 2 displays with your streaming setup because it makes it a lot easier to control everything and share your screen if that's something that you want to do. Connected to the Mac Studio and hidden under the desk is a CalDigit Thunderbolt 4 hub. This is where I connect a lot of my peripherals like the Stream Deck, the Wave XLR, and my capture card. The Stream Deck allows me to have quick controls when live. I can fire off different assets and change scenes. My capture card is by AverMedia. I was using the Elgato Cam Link, but for whatever reason it's not playing nicely with my M1 Mac. This AverMedia card is working great and is actually a little cheaper than the Cam Link. So all of these pieces combined make up my new streaming setup. In just a moment, I will talk about the software behind it, but before I do, let me give you a full demonstration of the Livestream setup in action while I tell you about today's sponsor. All right, I'm here in the Livestream setup, and I thought it'd be super fun to give you guys a little bit of like a live demonstration as if I were streaming while I tell you about today's sponsor. Motion VFX is an incredible platform offering tons of great plugins for programs like Final Cut Pro, DaVinci, and now even Premiere Pro. They have lots of high quality animations that are fast to set up thanks to their easy drag and drop plugins that are super customizable. I've been using them for years, way before I started my YouTube channel, and I'm super excited to be partnering with them on today's video. They've actually just started their Black Friday sale, and it will be going on from now through December 4th, with the entire site being 30% off. And each week, certain plugins will also be 50% off, which I think is a pretty good deal. And to take it one step further, if you spend over $100 during this sale, you'll actually unlock an exclusive plugin, which will only be available during this sale. I love to use Motion VFX on the live streams for unique assets like my intro and outro animation. I think it really helps level up the overall content. If you're interested in checking out Motion VFX or any of these plugins, you can find it all at the link in the description below. Pretty cool, right? That whole demonstration was not even edited. It was captured live using this crazy streaming software called Ecamm. Ecamm is my absolute favorite streaming software that I've used. I used to use StreamYard, and while I still like StreamYard for its accessibility and ease of use, overall, Ecamm really delivers on the sort of quality and customization that I want for my streams. For starters, I can actually set the resolution and frame rate, which means I can stream in 4K at 24 FPS. Here's a side-by-side comparison of Ecamm and StreamYard using the same camera, capture card, and HDMI cables. It's pretty crazy. Ecamm's definitely looking a bit crispier. Beyond the image quality, there's a ton of cool features that Ecamm has. I can create multiple scenes, share my screen, share PDFs without needing to utilize a secondary display, use custom overlays, play music, invite guests, add a mic delay to get my audio in sync, adjust my camera settings, do green screen effects, or even apply a LUT to my camera live. One of the coolest features is that every time I go live, the software will also record the files onto my computer with the main stream as well as each of my individual audio tracks separately. These are just a few of my favorite features from Ecamm, but it definitely has a ton more to offer. And the cool thing is that per month, it's actually cheaper to use than StreamYard. The only real downside is that currently it is only for Mac. Now that we've taken a look at some of the gear that goes into live streaming, the next step is to actually go live, and that can be nerve-wracking. As creators, we can struggle with things like fear, perfection, comparison, and doubt. If you are struggling with any of these thoughts, then I'd love to encourage you with a stream that I recently did on this topic, which you can view by continuing on to this video here. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay creative. Peace.